My name is Daniel Russek. I'm the founder and CEO of Atarraya, and we're basically working on the sustainable aquaculture space. Our We strive to become the world's leading sustainable shrimp producer. So I'll be basically this presentation is going to be around more of the business opportunity in changing how shrimp farming is done. So we come from this idea of that there is not a clear roadmap for sustainable food transition, as for instance there is in energy transition. At least with energy transition, we know what are the technologies that are available, which ones would be good for different kinds of scenarios. But in protein, we don't know much. So, and for the food transition, specifically in protein, we don't know much. But what we know is that protein is it's at the same time the most crucial, but also the most difficult challenge to address for a sustainable food system. We also know that consumers are not willing to compromise their culinary experience in exchange for sustainability. And we know that a future food system that is sustainable cannot be dependent on fossil fuels. But also, we need to consider nutrition and untreated whole foods as the center of this food transition. So I think this is where aquaculture has a lot to offer. And on the other side, on the side of the consumer, there's a great market, and in the United States, it's estimated that between 10 to 25% of the market of consumers, they don't really care too much about price. They're focused mostly on quality. It's not that they don't care about price, but it's not their primary focus. And considering this, there's not a lot of options in terms of shrimp. So seafood, is the fastest growing category in terms of protein. And while the United States is 90% self-sufficient on their calories, in the case of shrimp, it's 95% it's imported. So Americans spend $11 billion a year of shrimp. So we think that shrimp, it's a great source. It's a great source of protein. I see that there's a lot of technical experts here. They grow 10,000 times in 4 months. A shrimp female lays 150,000 eggs every 6 weeks, and we get a really good feed conversion ratios. So this is how I explain the aquaculture potential to investors. Also, in the case of shrimp, there's no need for complex processing. You can eat a whole shrimp in a paella. You can find one in a paella. So the road from a farm product into a consumer packaged product is very short, unlike in the case of, for instance, poultry or cattle, where you need big processing facilities in order to put this in hands of consumers. And most cultures have a shrimp dish as well. We know that from an ecological point of view, both traditional shrimp farming and wild-caught shrimp is very problematic to the oceans. I won't get a lot into this, but we know the problems with our industry. So we strive to supply fresh and delicious and nutritious and local shrimp that makes consumers feel good. So we use this through our Agua Blanca shrimp brand. And on the other side, we strive to create the most profitable animal protein industry in the United States in a generation, and then scale these at the first sustainable protein supply chain in the United States. So what we do is that we can farm shrimp in cities, completely disconnected from the ocean. We have weekly harvests, no antibiotics. We have a very fast deployment. 2 years ago, we started building our first farm, and in June, we signed the lease for our warehouse, and by July, we were already in operation. By October, we had our first harvest. So this is our, from an aquaculture standpoint, our strategy is we basically manufacture farms. We don't build farms. So then from investment to harvest, it's a very short time frame. We also can train anyone to become a shrimp farmer in 2 months, and this is because all our technology, we deployed it into a software system that guides all the activities within a farm. We have 100x about the productivity of traditional shrimp farming methods, at least in Mexico, and we have a 40% lower cost of production as compared to any mostly RAS experiences before us. Our technology, we call it Shrimpbox, and it's basically a technology platform that has done three things. We created the ocean biochemistry using biofloc. I'm sure that there's a lot of people here that know about biofloc. But we went further and we packaged our technology into a hypermodular solution that is comprised between hardware and software. And in the end, it produces the best tasting shrimp. So I'm here in New York City. We're launching our brand with a very interesting distributor, and we are working with some of the best chefs here in New York City. We started with our biofloc farm in Oaxaca, Mexico. So we have here 33 ponds in operation. We started working in this farm in 2012. And this is our farm in Indianapolis. So this production system, it's basically two tanks, one on top of the other, is based upon the specification of a shipping container. And in Indianapolis, we're working with people that come from different other activities, and we train them into become some of the most efficient shrimp farmers in a very short span because of the way that we leverage software systems to do this. This is a model for our expansion. We're going to triple our Indiana facility by probably the second quarter of next year. We'll have 3 times as much production in Indianapolis than we have now. And we have been also awarded with Time Magazine's Best Invention of 2022. We won the Edison Awards. And I think that one of the most important parts of our strategy is to put shrimp farming into the template of contract farming. So 98% of the poultry that Tyson sells, Tyson didn't grow it. So, and I think that aquaculture, in order to be able to fulfill its role in society in producing local protein, local sustainable protein, it needs to also fit into the financial and business template that has been used before. So, because then we can target $10 billion of the annual budget from the USDA. So by becoming an integrator, we can have offtake agreements with farmers. We will supply the shrimp, the larvae, the probiotics, the feed, and then we will sell that into the market. So we've been working with different farming associations, mostly in the Midwest, to work on this next level for technology transfer. We have also been in conversations, and we have different designs for different applications in different climates. Like, for instance, this is a project that we're working with a Middle East partner, in which we can stack the shrimp boxes using also solar panels and create. This is a hatchery. This is a processing facility. This would be the grow-out operation, and from here we will also have the fertilizer. So the only byproduct that our farms have, we don't have any runoff. We don't do any water exchange. We treat all the water, and the flock, which is the waste, the only waste that we have from our farm, is treated in a biodigester that then it's turned into an organic fertilizer. So we're doing this in Oaxaca. We're also doing this in Indianapolis, and we are working now to scale these as also a revenue source. So in the end, it's a circular economy kind of approach, in which we feed the shrimp. The shrimp creates ammonia, excretes ammonia. This feeds into the biofloc. The biofloc basically works on the water quality, right? Maintains an homeostatic ecosystem. But then we can harvest this biofloc, turn the nitrogen into biogas and also fertilizer. So we think that this is a regenerative agriculture approach to aquaculture. Yeah, I would like to. This is my presentation. I would like to take some questions if you have.